What's up, guys? This is the network, back with another video, and today we are talking about the Collins family, one of the top 13 Illuminati bloodlines. Now, this one right here moves a little different than the Bundys or the Astors. Most people never even heard of the Collins family, but sometimes the quiet ones are the ones you need to watch the closest. Silent power, invisible controls, that's how these elites operate. Now, before we get started, let me say, this video is for educational purposes only. If you want help understanding these systems deeper or get direct mentorship, you can contact the network directly on Discord. Telegram is no longer reliable for our private client work. Alright, let's get into it. The Collins bloodline is one of the deepest, oldest, and darkest satanic bloodlines inside the Illuminati structure. While you had families like the Rothschilds running global banking empires and the Bundys infiltrating government intelligence, the Collins family focused on something even more dangerous: spiritual control, ritual magic, occult ceremonies, and behind-the-scenes psychological programming. Now let's pause right here for a second. When most people hear satanic, they imagine some cheap horror movie with candles and goats, but this ain't that. The Collins family operates in highly structured secret societies. We're talking ancient mystery school knowledge, Egyptian, Babylonian, Druidic, Luciferian systems that have been passed down through bloodlines for centuries. These are organized ritual networks sitting behind the political system. The Collins name traces back into Europe, but their real foundation of power was built when they landed inside early American elite circles. They came into Massachusetts in the 1600s, right into Puritan New England. Now, on the surface, you had religion. But beneath the surface, these early colonies became hubs for witchcraft, occult circles, and secret ceremonial orders that laid the foundation for America's hidden power structure. The Collins family was highly strategic. While other families chased business and political power, they embedded themselves inside religious councils, Masonic temples, private country clubs, and secret elite gatherings. Imagine dark corridors of power, closed-door meetings held inside candlelit chambers beneath old cathedrals, country estates, and private mansions. This is where their real influence lived. Because at the end of the day, spiritual control always sits above political control. If you own people's belief systems, you never need to campaign for office. You already own their thoughts, their fears, and their future generations. Over time, the Collins bloodline quietly intermarried into other elite families, connecting into the Todds, the Astors, and even British nobility. Some branches of their bloodline linked directly into secret societies like the Ordo Templi Orientis, heavy into ritual magic, sexual occult rites, and Luciferian systems traced back to figures like Aleister Crowley, and this is where the power gets even darker. Reports from ex-Illuminati insiders and SRA survivors, satanic ritual abuse victims, have repeatedly pointed to the Collins bloodline as one of the most brutal handlers inside the Illuminati pyramid. Their specialty wasn't just money or government manipulation. Their department was indoctrination, trauma-based mind control, generational satanic programming, and ritual conditioning. Pause right there because this part matters. While you got the Rothschilds running international banking systems and the Rockefellers building global education platforms, the Collins family was operating as the internal enforcers, keeping the elite hierarchy loyal, obedient, and spiritually locked in. They are the ritual administrators, like the high priests inside the secret temples of the system. This information didn't fully start surfacing until the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, and when some insiders and defectors finally exposed pieces of the system. One of the most well-known names tied to this was John Todd, who claimed direct bloodline ties to the Collins family and exposed how the Illuminati operated internally through ritualistic control. Now let's bring this closer to modern day because this system is still running. Take Hollywood, for example. Everybody sees the constant satanic symbolism in music videos, award shows, movie scripts, and corporate logos. People write it off as marketing, but it's not random. These are ritual symbols traced directly back into the same bloodline networks, designed to normalize their belief system to the masses. Normalize the pyramid, normalize the eye, normalize the checkerboard, normalize the sacrifice themes, all right in front of millions of people. The Collins family, just like the other 12 bloodlines, operates in harmony with the rest. Each family specializes in different branches. You got the banking arm, the political arm, the religious arm, the military arm. In the Collins, they are the spiritual arm. They manage the ceremonies, the initiations, and the deeper Luciferian councils that most lower-level Freemasons never even know exist. Let me give you another visual. Think of it like an exclusive boardroom. The bankers sit at one end of the table, the military sits at another, and right at the head of the table, you've got the ritual high priests. That's where the Collins operate. Secret council chambers, underground meeting halls, heavy oak doors, ancient symbols etched into the stone. That's their zone. This is why when people waste their breath debating Democrats and Republicans, they're arguing inside a script written by these families. The two-party system is nothing but a stage show. Both sides belong to the same small handful of bloodlines that control global agendas from the top. And like every power structure, one of the most critical pieces of control is information. If you control what people are taught about history, religion, politics, and even spirituality, You control how entire populations think and behave for generations. Understand, these families are not loyal to countries. Collins' bloodline doesn't think in terms of borders. They operate through continents, global networks, multinational councils like Bilderberg, Council on Foreign Relations, the United Nations, and all the other quiet alliances that sit above national governments. Even inside Freemasonry, most members stay stuck at the surface levels. They'll never see the secret councils above 33rd degree. That's where the bloodlines sit. The Collins bloodline operates inside the highest Luciferian councils that oversee these global orders. Now let me drop one more layer on top. The Psychological Warfare Department. The Collins family didn't just run spiritual systems. They were deeply involved in early think tanks and psychological warfare programming. These groups study mass fear manipulation, political division, false flags, and media programming, all designed to keep populations emotionally triggered, fighting amongst each other, and completely distracted from the true hierarchy behind the curtain. This is why you see mass division in every election cycle. Race wars, gender wars, class wars, religion wars. Divide and conquer is the oldest trick in the book. And as long as the masses stay arguing on social media, these families stay untouched, quietly running the actual systems behind private security gates, penthouse boardrooms, and generational wealth compounds. And like always, they stay in the shadows. You'll never see the Collins name at the front of a corporation. They let the public faces handle that. They operate silently, maximum control, zero visibility. Now, as always, let me remind you, this video is for educational purposes only. If you want to understand how these systems actually operate, how to maneuver through the system, build real leverage, and position yourself, you can reach out directly to the network on Discord. The mentorship is open for those who are serious about learning the real game. This is the network, and we'll be back with another deep dive very soon.